YouTube, it's Lindy and Mr. Smooth tonight in the Bougie apartment, and I'm back after my little summer break. My mom came to visit me from America, and we spent 2 weeks traveling around China, and that's why I haven't been making videos, so I'm sorry, but I'm back now, and like I said, we were traveling around, and this was my first time in a big Chinese city, so I thought I would talk about some of the differences that I noticed between Beijing and Bougie. The first thing I noticed was rickshaws were everywhere. Like, think, I guess, Indiana Jones, where Short Round's pedaling the bike after he rescues Indian Willie. Yeah, here in Baoji, we don't have those. In Xi'an, we don't have those either. But in Beijing, they were all over. And the people at the hotel told us, don't get in those, and I'll make another travel video explaining why. But it was just kind of neat to see them, and I guess these guys just pedal them around all day and give people rides, and it was kind of neat to see that. I've had people ask me when I was telling stories like, oh, it was such a long night home, I was tired, or oh, I couldn't figure out how to get home when I was first in Baoji. I had a friend ask me, oh, why didn't you just take a rickshaw? And I'm like, what are you talking about? There's no rickshaws. I guess they're only in bigger cities because I don't even think in this province they really have them. Something else I noticed, and maybe this is why there's rickshaws, because there's people that want to ride them and will pay for it, is here in Baoji, I can count the other foreigners on both hands. And if you see somebody that's not Chinese, it's kind of like, you know, how when a dog sees another dog and they have to like, I'm a dog too, and they pull you across the road to go say hi to that other dog. That's kind of how I feel when I see another foreigner, like, I'm a foreigner too, what are you doing, why are you here, hi, like, please be my friend. That's kind of how I feel. In Beijing, there were tons of other foreigners, like, not even just at the hotel, just walking around, like, to the supermarket, or just going to the mall, or just life. You see other foreigners, and that was kind of neat to see. And I guess it would just be easier, like, if you think you want to go to China, but you want to have other foreign friends, you'd probably be happier there. Baoji is not going to cut it if you want to hang out with, like, not even people from your country. Like, if you just want other foreigners and you don't have to speak Chinese all the time, you probably wouldn't be happy here. But in Beijing, you would be. And if you do want to make friends with people that are Chinese that speak English, you'd probably be happier in Beijing as well. Because I noticed if you ask, like, just random people at the store questions and you didn't talk super fast, they would generally understand you. But here in small town Baoji, people can say hi, let's go, bye-bye. That's about it. But in Beijing, if you just said, hi, can you help me get to the bus station? They could tell you in English, oh, you turn left on whatever street and you go like 200 meters or whatever. Yeah, they could tell you that. In Baoji, you're going to get met with blank stares if you talk to them in English at all. And something else I noticed was, I've mentioned this in videos before, like I said, there's not a ton of foreigners here, so I understand I'm kind of unique. People in Baoji will take pictures of me, just random Chinese people taking pictures of me, like riding on the bus. If I see a dog and I pet it, if I'm listening to my music, whatever, they just take pictures of me, and I'm not entirely sure what exactly they're doing with these pictures. But in Beijing, it's not like that. So I'm thinking because they're kind of desensitized to foreigners, it's not that big of a deal. Or they're just really, really good at secretly taking pictures. I hope it's the first one. So I guess if you don't want to be the center of too much attention, you'd probably be happier in a bigger city. Something else that made me happy, and when this contract is up and I need to find a new place to live, I will take this into consideration, were the types of food available in Beijing. My friends here hear me bitch all the time about, like, oh my god, I want a burrito so bad. Or I want, like, baked pasta. Like, there's a restaurant by my house in America that has, like, baked pasta with a ton of cheese, ton of marinara sauce. Yeah, here that's not gonna happen. My friends here, like, they'll complain, like, oh, like, there's no place for a good burger. There is a McDonald's here, but no, you know what I mean, like a nice, juicy burger. Yeah, that's not gonna happen in small town China, but in Beijing, oh, there were tons of options. There was pizza, there was Korean barbecue, there was sushi, there was also the traditional Chinese food, like the little hole-in-the-wall restaurants, the hot pot. You pretty much had whatever you want, and I thought the prices weren't too ridiculous. We went for pizza one night, and it was like $15 for one pizza, 2 drinks, and my mom, I think, had a salad. So I thought that was pretty reasonable, and I didn't spend a ton of time in grocery stores just because there was food at the hotel, and we made points to go out to restaurants to try new stuff. But I did stop in a grocery store to get some water because it was hot, and I kind of made a point to look around at stuff. And I noticed that the yogurt I normally buy was actually about the same as it was in Bauji. I didn't buy any fruits or vegetables, so I'm not sure about that. But I was surprised that I thought the food, at least the stuff that isn't grown. I checked water too. That's pretty much the same. If you want like a little box of crackers, that's going to run you about the same. So I guess if you want to eat not healthy, it's going to be pretty comparable no matter where you are. As far as food, like restaurant food goes, we went for hot pot, and that was a little bit more expensive than it was in Bauji, but I guess area location. And I was only in Beijing for a couple days. I'm sure there were cheaper hot pot restaurants, and I just couldn't find them. Oh, this is another good thing that made me happy about Beijing. In Bauji, the little kids here think the world is their toilet. There's split pants for little kids that like their little rears just hang out, and if they need to go, they just go. Like they find a plant and they go. They find a spot on the sidewalk and they just go. Like I'm talking number 1 and number 2. The world is their toilet. In Beijing, I wasn't having to watch out for like poop landmines all the time. There was one instance where I saw there was a little kid that just had to go, but I think that was an emergency, and within a few minutes, some street sweeper lady was out there with a broom, and she was cleaning it up. So if you love your shoes, Beijing is probably a good place to go, and I'm not exactly sure why that is. Maybe there's laws about that, because I've heard some places have laws, like if you don't clean up, you're going to get fined. I guess I can ask when I go next time. Oh, this I noticed too. In small town China, and again, my town is small town, maybe like 4.5 million people. It's if you want to go somewhere, you can tell them the address, and it's pretty straightforward. Like the cab will know where to take you. In Beijing, where I was staying, oh my God, side streets. There's all these tiny little side streets, and it's possible that if you get in a cab, they might not know where it is. If you can get like a little map, that would probably help. And I was just amazed about that because I thought cab drivers knew every street, but I guess Beijing is pretty big. And there's all these tiny little like one-way side streets. And I'm not really sure how anybody could memorize that, so I guess I understand if the cab drivers don't know. GPS, I guess, was invented for that reason. So that's what I noticed about Beijing versus Bauji. I'll have more travel videos coming up soon. Thanks for watching, and have a good day or night wherever you are. All right, bye-bye.